The Doomsday clock is ticking, Leon. And by December, we need to review every single Marvel movie, Netflix TV show, and Disney Plus show before the time runs out. Today we're looking at Incredible Hulk 2008. And in my opinion, this one's a bit of the ugly duckling in the MCU, to be honest. I don't think it's as held as in high regard as especially Iron Man, but the rest of Phase 1 in general. But that being said, this is not a bad movie upon rewatch. It's quite enjoyable. And a lot of love did go into it. What do you think about Incredible Hulk?
I remember you, me, and Hadafa rewatched this movie like 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
In our big rewatch for Doomsday, which we've taken our sweet time on. And I remember sitting there thinking, okay, I don't see much bad here. Like, I was like, okay, if I start this film with a 10 out of 10 and I deduct points for everything I don't like, then I don't deduct a lot. I think I ended up on like a 6 or a 7 or maybe 6.
Yeah.
But that's still above average movie. So yeah, like having rewatched the film, there is a lot to like. I really like the movie can make you feel really like stressed sometimes. Like when like Bruce is trying his hardest to like run for his life and not get turned into the Hulk. And I really like the whole him having this like I don't know what you call it, but the thing that checks his heart rate.
On the watch, yeah.
On his watch, I love that. I wish that was something they kept.
I wish we saw it again, or even in She-Hulk or another property, but regarding the Hulk, but no, we never.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty neat. And yeah, his whole idea of the Hulk is like this awful plague disease that he doesn't want to allow. It's like a horror movie to some degree. I like that.
The first time we see it, it's like a horror movie. They don't show him completely when he first transforms. Like they hide him in the shadows. I mean, the first thing you see is his big toes and shit.
Yeah.
and then you see a bit more, and then eventually his face comes out in the shadow. Right when Emil Blonsky's like aiming at him, and he's like, "What the fuck?" and then shoots him, and it doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like they really make you scared to see like the Hulk side come out. Like it's not, even though you want to see some cool action, which later on you get to indulge in the Hulk a bit more. But early on in the film, it's like this is worst case scenario. This shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, it was definitely intentional by Louis Leterrier, who directed this movie. He really wanted it to appear like a dangerous creature in the shadows, and not until later on into the movie then you have the big Hulk fight. But yeah, I think that the whole start of the movie is actually pretty good, and I like the setting of being in Brazil. I think that's a really neat idea. It's for the MCU as well. Like a lot of them are to see a whole different part of the world and to have him in that factory, the really stressful environment, seeing his day-to-day life. I think it works really good. Edward Norton, not a bad choice. He's actually their first choice, and he didn't want to do it. He said he'd only do it under two factors. If he liked the director and he could put his own spin on it, because at first he thought this was the addition to the Ang Lee's version of the Hulk, but when he found out that this is like a soft reboot, that he felt like he could do more with the character. Because I watched another behind the scenes hour and a half video about Incredible Hulk, and it's interesting. I never gave much thought to this movie, but after seeing it, I see it in a whole new light. There's a lot of care that went into it.
A third condition, by the way, was to not sign a multi-picture deal, and that's why.
Yeah, that's why I didn't come back.
It is a shame that obviously they disagreed on how the movie turned out, because he wanted it to be more like what's the word, like psychological thriller, like about
and
Bruce's mental, and it ended up
his
the second half of the
backstory
film
as
ended up
well.
being more of like an action movie.
And
then they definitely didn't want to pursue that afterwards, and they disagreed further, and then they said, alright, fuck it, I'm out of it. But Mark Ruffalo, I'm glad we have him. Like, I think Avengers 1 and 2 are the best representations of him in the
Yeah.
films. So Incredible Hulk is obviously a close third.
I think a lot of people look back on Incredible Hulk saying how they missed the Savage Hulk, but I don't think that this is a definitive Hulk story either. Which is sad because I like it. I do. We don't have a definitive Hulk story yet, but I think we will get one day, maybe.
when they finally let them, when what's it called, Universal finally lets them fucking make a Hulk movie.
Yeah. But I mean,
Which
Kevin
thought
Feige
by
did
now
have.
they had let go of.
Yeah, you'd think. But Kevin did have a big say in this movie, and what Louis did was great. He's a French director, I'm pretty sure. But his camera work in particular.
I am French.
Yeah, his camera work in particular is something that can't be dismissed. It's incredible. And the shooting that he did in Brazil was really impressive. They had to... Well, they shot in the rainy season, so that's what was really tough. They had to get all these huge cameras and rigs up in the favelas, and they put cameras on back of motorcycles while they're running through. The camera never stays still, and it really captures the chaotic energy that's actually in the movie. The factory itself is actually... They were going to tear it down anyway. So then Marvel wrote to them and like, look, can we just shoot in here? And they're like, sure, whatever. Just let's tear it down after.
What, it was random Hulk movie? Yeah, sure, whatever you want, buddy.
Yeah.
Marvel Studios. And then, damn, we should have charged them way more.
So yeah, I think that's pretty sweet. And then you get the whole Betty and Bruce dynamic, and I think the biggest downfall is that we don't see these characters until way later on into the franchise, until now with Brave New World is the only time we've got real payoff with the leader and everything. It's a bit of a shame.
I think it just... I think the reputation Incredible Hulk got was more so to do with the fact that they just abandoned it, and less to do with actual the quality of the film.
Yeah, and it's not a bad movie at all.
I think if they made an Incredible Hulk 2 in phase 2 or 3, we would not be talking about it the way we are.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Incredible Hulk is a sore thumb, and every time I've done an MCU rewatch, I have skipped it. Only because it feels irrelevant, and the fact that Mark Ruffalo isn't the Hulk, not that I hate Edward Norton, you know, it does make it feel very distant.
Yeah, because if they at least like brought Betty back in Avengers 1, then like, yeah, they've changed Bruce, but you know it's the same base, therefore it's the same movie, therefore you have to go back and watch it. But they don't. They abandon everything in that movie. They just vaguely reference it sometimes.
Yeah.
The most references you get of Incredible Hulk is in Luke Cage. They talk about, oh, that time
they
in
smashed
Harlem,
up Harlem,
Hulk
yeah.
fucked shit up. Well, like,
when he fucks shit
not
up.
watch Luke Cage either. Like,
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's true. It's a real shame. Who is a standout in this movie that I do enjoy the performance of is Tim Roth's
I was just gonna
Emil
say.
Blonsky. He's got this on set, yeah. He's got this crazy energy, which is really sweet. Like he acknowledges that he's an older actor, but he really enjoys being there. And with all the physical stuff, like they had him on wires and shit for the running scene, and he worked really hard. And his performance in the motion capture stuff is really, really great. I really like his performance. And I like that we got to see him again in Shang-Chi? She-Hulk.
And Shang-Chi, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I agree 100% that Tim Roth is, I think, the standout of the movie. And, like, Emil Blonsky in particular, like, the character, I think is the most interesting part of the film, almost. Because
he's a better protagonist.
Almost, like, honestly, like, I find it so interesting with following this character who is a soldier who, like you said, like, the actor acknowledged that he was older. It's part of his character too, that he's an older soldier.
At the end of his run.
Yeah, like, he's gonna retire sooner or later because he just can't keep up anymore. Or he's about to not be able to keep up. But he's the perfect soldier in the sense that he still follows the orders and everything. And he's got the brains. He's got perfect strategy and whatnot. His body's just aging. So they come to him going, look, we've got something that can maybe basically bring your youth back. And they give him the super soldier serum, but it's like not the perfect version, and it fucks him up. He makes him stronger, it makes him faster, but like the way they do it to him, like they add it just straight into his bones and whatnot. And we have none of the like the UV, like the lights on everything that helped as well.
He didn't have to like sit in a cocoon like Skinny Steve.
But like his one, it's worse. Like it was always so gross looking. Like he's sitting there all sickly and old looking, whilst these like long ass needles go into him and it hurts. And then he comes out stronger than ever, and then he still gets fucked up by the Hulk. And he's out here trying to gain back his youth and his glory days to prove that he's still worth something. Because to him,
his one-on-one as well with the Hulk is great in the field sequence.
Yeah, like the way he, like, Hulk fucks him up with one kick.
Yeah, no, but he was moving. He was moving.
Everything before that, yeah, he was doing great. And I remember he gives like a big speech at one point early on. I think to his general or whatever. And yeah, like it really made him so much more interesting than you needed him to be, technically, for like a movie like this.
Yeah.
So I think it really helped. It's just a shame that by the end, when he does become a Hulk, he just starts like destroying shit and becomes like basically evil. Instead of him just like going directly to beat Hulk. But I guess also it's his way to get attention and whatnot. And also plus he can just fuck with his mind.
Yeah.
But you know, it could take it or leave it. But yeah, it just made him so much more. He's a really underrated villain. He's really underrated. I'm not gonna say he's like top tier or anything.
Okay, well, I've got a tier list up. Where would you put Emil Blonsky? It's Abomination.
I would put him above Obadiah Stane.
Okay. Where'd you put
so
Obadiah Stane?
We'll go along that like that. So okay, we'll
Yeah.
start the tier list, and as we do this series, we'll keep adding to it.
Yeah.
So we'll start Obadiah Stane. He's a very normal, average villain. I put him in like C tier. Emil, I think I'll keep him at C, but above Obadiah.
Got it. Locked in. And the actual Abomination design and Hulk design was done really intentionally as well. Like there was a lot of work. You could see his heartbeat and the veins. And then they came up with the idea to have like the bones protruding outwards, so he moves very differently to the way Hulk does. Hulk stands at 9 feet tall, whereas Abomination stands at 11 feet tall. And that's the thing, they didn't want to just have the Hulk fight the military, because that was done in Ang Lee's version. And also, they really didn't want the Hulk to just be in the desert. Louis wanted them to film in New York, because then you could get a real sense of scale. And I think that's something that was done really well.
Yeah, that final fight is a great one. Hulk versus Abomination. Hulk getting the car, breaking it in half, and then using it as boxing gloves.
Yeah. So a woman called Amanda, she animated that boxing glove scene. And she was really like interesting in the interview because her specialty is like animals and stuff, but she really wanted to create the monsters and have the Hulk like really fuck him up. She was really into it in the behind the scenes. It's quite funny, and there's a whole bunch of individual moments in that final fight which I think are pretty great. What's interesting is they really wanted to again film in Harlem, but because the mayor of Toronto was a big Hulk fan, they actually filmed there instead. So they had this whole stretch of the highway, and they allowed them to basically turn it into this war zone. And they had these poppers of like fires going off. It was really interesting. The whole crew was really professional. It was great, and they cleaned it up in like a day. So that's a fun fact. Yeah.
I bet that mayor regrets that decision now.
Because it tanked. Yeah.
What I find most interesting about this movie is that it came out the same year as Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
And yet, it's not as good as Iron Man 1.
No one really talks
Um,
about it either.
Yeah, like, again, forgotten. Because the MCU chose to forget it and make us forget it.
Hmm.
And, you know, in another life, Iron Man could have very easily been delayed for one reason or another, and then this would have been the first film instead.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that picture. Okay, we're gonna watch the MCU from beginning to end, and you put on Incredible Hulk, and again, we think it's a decent enough movie.
Yeah.
And then you go to, and at the end, Iron Man cameos,
Yeah.
and you're like, huh. And then Iron Man 1, banging movie. And then you keep watching, and then yeah, nothing about Incredible Hulk pops up again for another like 10, 15 years.
That suck.
But like, it already sucks now because it's the second film in the franchise. Like, it's already such a sore thumb. Like when you start being like, oh yeah, this second one not important at all.
Yeah.
Not for ages anyway. Now, yes,
Well,
retroactively they have made it important, but like, again, for such a long time after, like, you can actually watch Brave New World, not watch Incredible Hulk, and you can just like
just get it from context.
say like, oh yeah, stuff happened. You know, like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of stuff has happened. You know, like, you don't need every movie to explain World War II when they make a reference to it, do you? No.
Yeah.
Because you can just picture something happening in the past, even if you don't know what it's about. Like, it's a weird example because it's a real life thing, but like, multiple movies reference past events that you never see.
In Game of Thrones, you never see the murder of the Mad King, but it's something everyone just references, you know? And
Exactly.
you don't need to see it. That was a king. He was mad. Jamie killed him. That's that, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can talk about how Ross used to chase the Hulk all the time.
Well, what do you think of Ross? William Hurt's
Ross...
performance, I actually like a lot.
Yeah. It's shame William Hurt's a dickhead. And then shame he's dead. But
he's a dickhead, and then he died. Good on him.
In that order, you know.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, he definitely plays his role here. Like, again, I feel like with every character in the movie, I really don't have a lot of problems with this movie. It's just there's nothing that like
pacing's a bit
stands
off.
out as great either. But the middle of the movie, I think I remember it dragged a lot. Yeah. Like when he meets up with Betty again and everything, like that shit was all boring as fuck. Okay, you know, Betty was the only one I didn't really like that much. I remember.
And she moans all of her dialogue.
Yeah, I've never liked that. Like every scene, you just sound like she's edging. Like
I'm putting a clip now.
To watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's always like, Bruce, Bruce, Bruce. And he's like, damn, girl, like.
What
just
about
talking.
The Hulk not being able to have sex because of his heart rate?
That sucks, man. That's such a shame.
No wonder he's so mad.
Cool, he's just pent up, bro. Like,
yeah, he's all wound up.
I have to assume when he like masters the Hulk, like by the end of the movie, he masters it.
Yeah.
So I hope, you know, he got some puss before Avengers 2012.
He get his rocks soft, man. I do like that scene in the plane helicopter where he kisses Betty and then he falls backwards and he turns into the Hulk. That's sick. That is cool.
Yeah. But then he fails. He's like, oh shit, and then he lands in the ground, and then becomes the Hulk and comes out. Like that was nice. That was cool. Abomination. I don't.
Well,
love
tell
the
me
design,
about tell me about the
bones
designs for the two of them. How do you like the Hulk design? How do you like the
So the Hulk, I've never loved his skin. Skin was very leathery, very like thin and
we all know the Hulk moisturizes.
Yeah, exactly, man. So what the fuck? And I don't love the shade of green. It's also really dark, but it fits with like the color grading of the movie. So like, I guess I can't give it too much shit. But I do like near like later on in that final fight, like how veiny they look. And like when he's bleeding and he's got this like dark green blood coming out of him and like the veins coming out of the wounds and everything. I think that looks really good. But in general as well, his face, he doesn't look anything like Edward Norton. Like the Hulk is a completely different person here.
Well,
and
they did a whole lot of filming with Edward Norton and Emil Blonsky's Tim Horton. They had this thing called Mova. Did I say Tim Horton, like the donut company?
You said
I
Horn.
didn't. I think I said
Like
Tim
you trailed
Roth.
off. Maybe you were about to say it, but you've
Tim Roth. I said Tim Horton like that. Anyway, Tim Roth. Basically, yeah, they had this thing called Mova technology, and they, for motion capture, they put dots on the face, yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, they basically painted them green, and then they mapped like every movement on this like phosphorus green makeup, and that's what they would use when animating the Hulk and Abomination. And you would never know because he looks nothing like him.
Yeah, man. Like Hulk's head. Like Edward Norton's a very like thin head, like a narrow. I guess is the word I'm looking for. And then the Hulk's is like wider by a lot. And yeah, he doesn't have like any of his features. Then you cut to like Abomination, who also looks nothing like Tim Roth. Then you go ahead to Avengers, and Mark Ruffalo and the Hulk. You can definitely tell they're the same person. You can tell that's Mark Ruffalo turning into the Hulk. So yeah, I just wish that was more here. I think the MCU Hulk design is the best one out of the three.
I would agree.
Ang Lee one, this one, and then the Mark Ruffalo one. Definitely is the best one.
Well, what Louis had to say was that he really disliked the huge size difference between, for Ang Lee, a human and the Hulk. He found it very important that the Hulk felt like he was really human looking, and the hair as well. Like at first he was meant to have a shorter haircut, but then they put a lot of effort into giving him those human features so he can act. But I don't think that translates well.
Also, his hair's longer than Bruce's hair, which how the hell does that make sense?
Pin particles.
He's got like flat, greasy, long hair like dangling in front of his eyes and shit. And Edward Norton has not got that. So yeah. Alright, regardless.
Edward Norton's not green as well, so
What the fuck? It looks so different. And he's not 9 feet tall. Or jacked. But no, yeah, the Hulk design as well, it just looks really gross and really like kind of like video gamey. Like I can picture like video game bosses that like look like that. Same with Abomination. And when I see them fight, I don't love the way it looks.
It's like the start of Lego Marvel superheroes.
But thankfully, they both get design upgrades. Abomination looks way better when we see him again fucking 15 years later. And a lot more like his comic self. I do like the bones thing. But I don't like that they took away all his like unique traits, like his amphibian features, like the weird fins and shit on him. Like he looks like a big fish in the comics.
Yeah.
They took away all of that. But he doesn't even have ears in this one, let alone fins. But like I do like the rib cage protruding out and his spine. That's like a grossness that I can get behind, and that's a feature they kept when they redesigned him for the later stuff. So like, it's a nice like combination of his comic and his Incredible Hulk designs. He has an odd head, like really round.
I hate that one scene where he punches him on the floor with the boxing gloves, and his head kind of looks like it's going into his ribcage. It looks a little bit goofy.
Ugh.
Yeah. But yeah, what else do I have to say about this movie? Overall, do you like it?
I think it's funny that like the MCU like, oh cool, we gotta make some movies. We're gonna lead up to Avengers. Our first two, we're gonna do one of our most popular characters of all time, the Hulk, and then we're gonna do this other guy we got still left over from the rights that we sold away, Iron Man, and then Iron Man's the one that did way better.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they put more effort into that one as well than they did Hulk.
I just think that John Favreau had a clearer vision, and the cast was better. Whereas I don't know. The Hulk didn't have the sauce, man. I don't think that Louis was a bad director. And listening to him speak and talk about this movie, he did care a lot. But again, it felt like Iron Man, Jon Favreau's Iron Man was the future of what superhero movies is going to be, and the Hulk wasn't that. It's more of a past movie for me. So yeah,
Music's
that's
great, though. I love the music in this film.
yeah.
It
It's a
really
good,
fits
it's a
the tone,
great
and it
score. It's a
really
great
adds to
score.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, it really is like the Hulk's theme, because we don't even have one in the MCU. We don't have a Hulk theme.
No. And I do like.
This is like the only time.
Yeah. I think Mark Ruffalo. I'm glad we have Mark Ruffalo, and he's a standout for me in Avengers.
1000%.
Yeah.
You have a tier list for the movies as well?
Yeah. Mine is the same as yours at the moment, but if
Yeah.
it changes, I'll let you know.
Yeah. For me, Iron Man's A tier for sure. And Incredible Hulk, I'd say it's like a really, probably like a low B tier. Yeah.
I'd say Incredible Hulk high C because I don't love it, but it's not bad either.
All right, yeah, high C, yeah.
Agreed. How do you rate it out of 10?
I give it 10 Hulk toes out of 10.
You see the Hulk's toes a lot in this movie.
Yeah, an
Yeah, that's
uncomfortable
what we
amount.
keep.
I don't love it.
Yeah. Tarantino directed Hulk movie.
The Louis guy was just the front man. He did the right shit.
He's the front man. Yeah. I rate it solid 6. Solid 6. Above average, but you know. So yeah, this will be a short one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. We can follow us on Spotify. We do long episodes. We're on Web Sputters on YouTube. Web_Sputters on Instagram. Leon is pen_isn't on Instagram. And stay tuned for the next episode. We go to Iron Man 2.
Oh.
So we'll see you in the next one.